The rapid acceleration of the digital age has brought us to a crossroads where the very definition of what it means to be human is being challenged by the machines we have created. We stand at a unique point in history where our tools are no longer just extensions of our hands, but extensions of our minds, and increasingly, mediators of our souls. To find purpose in this landscape, one must first recognize that purpose is not a digital commodity. It cannot be optimized, it cannot be automated, and it cannot be crowdsourced through the approval of strangers on a screen. Finding your why in a world of how requires a deliberate retreat from the noise to rediscover the signal of your own intuition. We have become a civilization of hunters and gatherers of information, but we are starving for wisdom. We collect data points like they are trophies, yet we often feel more hollow than the generations who lived before the first spark of electricity. The search for purpose begins the moment you decide that you are not a consumer to be targeted, but a creator to be heard. It starts when you realize that the most sophisticated algorithm in existence is still a shadow compared to the complexity of a single human thought driven by love or conviction. We often look at technology as a force of nature, something that happens to us, but we must reclaim the narrative that technology is a choice we make. If you feel lost in the digital wilderness, it is because you have forgotten that you are the architect of your own attention. Purpose is found when you take back the reins of your focus and point it towards something that does not require a battery to sustain itself. We must confront the reality that we are living in a distraction economy designed to keep us from the very introspection required to find meaning. Every notification is a micro-intervention against your peace of mind. Every infinite scroll is a treadmill that leads nowhere. To find purpose, you must be willing to be unproductive by the standards of the modern world. You must be willing to sit in the silence and face the discomfort of your own boredom, for it is in that void that the whispers of your true calling finally become audible. We have traded depth for breadth, knowing a little bit about everything and nothing about ourselves. The tech-driven world demands that we move at the speed of light, but the human soul grows at the speed of the seasons. You cannot rush the discovery of your life's work any more than you can rush the blooming of a flower. This requires a radical patience. It requires a refusal to be defined by your digital footprint. Your purpose is not your LinkedIn profile. It is not your follower count. It is the quiet integrity you bring to the moments when no one is watching. As we move further into a world dominated by artificial intelligence, the skills that will matter most are the ones that are the most difficult to replicate: empathy, moral courage, and the ability to find beauty in the brokenness of the world. A machine can calculate the most efficient way to build a house, but it cannot understand the feeling of home. Your purpose is to be the builder of homes in every sense of the word, to create spaces, ideas, and relationships that provide refuge for the human spirit. In the pursuit of purpose, we must also recognize the danger of the technological mirror. We spend so much time looking at screens that we have begun to see ourselves as datasets to be improved. We track our steps, our heart rates, our sleep cycles, and our productivity levels, hoping that if we just get the numbers right, we will finally feel satisfied. But satisfaction is not a mathematical equation. You can have the perfect stats and still have a bankrupt soul. Purpose is found in the unquantifiable. It is found in the way you help a stranger when there is no social capital to be gained. It is found in the way you stand up for a truth that is unpopular in the digital town square. It is found in the craftsmanship of a task done for the sheer joy of excellence, regardless of whether it scales. We must break the habit of measuring our lives by metrics that were designed for machines. The digital world is binary ones and zeros, yes and no, black and white. But the human experience is lived in the spectrum. Your purpose is to inhabit that spectrum, to embrace the nuance, and to bring a sense of gray back to a world that wants everything to be categorized and tagged. The greatest gift of the tech-driven world is also its greatest curse, the removal of friction. We can get food, transport, and entertainment with a single tap, but purpose is born from friction. It is born from struggle, from the resistance of the world against our desires, and from the hard work of overcoming obstacles. When we remove all friction from our lives, we remove the very things that give us strength and character. To find your purpose, you must seek out good friction. You must engage in difficult conversations, commit to long-term projects that don't offer immediate rewards, and embrace the physical demands of the real world. Purpose is the callus on the hand of the laborer, and the weariness in the eyes of the parent. It is the weight we choose to carry because we know the destination is worth the climb. In an age of instant gratification, the most purposeful act you can perform is to wait for something that matters. Do not let the ease of the digital world trick you into thinking that a meaningful life is easy. It is supposed to be hard. It is supposed to demand everything from you. Because only when you are fully pushed to your limits do you discover what you are actually made of. As we look toward the future, we see the rise of virtual realities and augmented existences. There is a growing temptation to leave the physical world behind for a digital one, where we can be whoever we want to be. But purpose is rooted in the here and now. It is rooted in the soil under your feet and the air in your lungs. You cannot find purpose in a simulation because a simulation has no consequences. True meaning requires skin in the game. It requires the risk of failure and the possibility of genuine loss. To find your purpose in a tech-driven world, you must remain tethered to the biological and the terrestrial. You must remember that you are a creature of the earth, not just a ghost in a cloud. Use the technology to enhance your physical reality, not to escape it. Use the tools to solve the hunger in your city, to clean the water in your rivers, and to mend the fences in your community. The digital world is a map, but the physical world is the territory. Don't spend your whole life staring at the map and forgetting to walk the land. Furthermore, we must address the loneliness of the connected age. We have built a world where we are constantly in touch but rarely in reach. Our purpose is often found in the service of others, yet we have become increasingly isolated behind our personal firewalls. Finding purpose requires us to tear down those walls and engage in the messy, inconvenient work of community. It means showing up for people when it's not convenient. It means listening without the intent to reply or to post. In a world of echo chambers, your purpose might be to be the bridge, to be the person who talks to those who think differently, to be the one who brings a sense of humanity back to the other. We're being tribalized by algorithms that profit from our division. To find purpose is to resist that tribalism and to insist on our shared humanity. It is to recognize that the person on the other side of the screen is not an avatar or an adversary, but a brother or a sister who is just as scared and confused by this fast-moving world as you are. The tech-driven world has also changed our relationship with time. We live in a state of continuous partial attention where we are never fully in one place. But purpose requires presence. You cannot fulfill your mission if you are always looking for the next thing. To find purpose, you must learn to be where your feet are. You must give your full attention to the person you are talking to, the work you are doing, and the life you are living. This presence is a form of love. In a world that is trying to steal your attention, giving it freely to someone else is the most precious gift you can offer. Your purpose is hidden in the details of the present moment. It is in the quality of your breath, the tone of your voice, and the sincerity of your actions. Stop waiting for the future to arrive so you can start your real life. This is it. This is the only moment you are guaranteed. Use it to do something that reflects your highest values. We must also talk about the myth of the genius. The tech world loves stories of lone founders in garages who changed the world. This can make us feel that if we aren't changing the world on a global scale, our lives lack purpose. But purpose is not about scale. It is about sincerity. You don't have to build an app used by millions to have a purposeful life. You have to be the person who makes life better for the people in your immediate circle. Small acts of kindness, done with great love, are more powerful than a viral video. Your purpose might be to be a fantastic parent, a loyal friend, or a dedicated neighbor. These roles do not scale in the digital sense, but they ripple through time in ways that no software ever could. Do not let the grandeur of the tech world diminish the glory of a quiet, faithful life. The world is changed by the aggregate of small, purposeful actions, not just by the big disruptions. In conclusion, finding purpose in a tech-driven world is an act of reclamation. It is reclaiming your time from the scroll, your attention from the notification, and your worth from the metric. It is about realizing that you are the master of the machine, not its servant. The tools we have created are incredible, but they are hollow without the human spirit to guide them. Your purpose is to be that spirit, to bring heat to the cold logic of the system, to bring light to the dark corners of the web, to bring love to a world that is increasingly mediated by glass and silicon. Do not be afraid of the technology, but do not be seduced by it either. Use it for what it is, a tool, and keep your heart focused on what truly matters: connection, creation, and contribution. You were born for such a time as this. To be the bridge between the old world of flesh and bone and the new world of light and data. Walk that bridge with confidence. Speak your truth. Live your why. And remember that even in a world of 8 billion people and trillions of lines of code, there is a space that only you can fill. Your purpose is not waiting to be found. It is waiting to be built, one conscious human choice at a time. The machine is ready. The world is watching. Now It is time for you to live. The journey toward purpose in this high-velocity era requires us to rethink our relationship with the concept of more. The digital world is built on the philosophy of infinite expansion: more data, more users, more speed, more storage. But human purpose is often found in the philosophy of enough. We have been conditioned to believe that if we aren't constantly upgrading our skills, our devices, and our digital presence, we are falling behind. This creates a state of perpetual anxiety that is the antithesis of a purposeful life. Purpose requires a foundation of peace, and peace is only possible when you decide that you are already enough. You do not need to be optimized to be valuable. Your flaws, your quirks, and your inefficiencies are precisely what make you human. In a world where AI can produce a perfect piece of art or a perfect piece of music, the value of human creation shifts from the perfection of the output to the sincerity of the process. Your purpose is to be the artist of your own life, even if the lines are shaky and the colors bleed. The imperfection of human effort is a lighthouse in a sea of synthetic perfection. It signals to others that there is a soul behind the work. As we move deeper into this century, we must also address the commodification of the self. In the tech-driven world, we are encouraged to see ourselves as brands. We are told to curate our images, manage our reputations, and market our lives. This turns our internal world into a public utility. When you start living for the view or the click, you lose the ability to live for the self. Finding purpose means reclaiming your private life. It means doing things that no one will ever see simply because they are the right things to do. It means cultivating an internal garden that is not for sale. The most purposeful people I know are those who have a rich, secret life of thought, prayer, and service. They don't need the world to validate their existence because they have found a source of validation that is independent of the network. This is the ultimate freedom. When you no longer need the digital world to tell you who you are finally free to become who you were meant to be. We must also consider the role of stewardship in our search for purpose. We are the first generation to live in a world where our thoughts can travel the globe in an instant. This is a staggering amount of power. Part of our purpose is to be wise stewards of this power. Every time you post, every time you comment, and every time you share, you are contributing to the collective consciousness of humanity. Are you adding to the chaos? Or are you adding to the clarity? Are you spreading anger, or are you spreading understanding? Finding purpose in a tech-driven world means taking responsibility for your digital shadow. It means realizing that your words have weight, even when they are typed on a screen. We need a new era of digital ethics, not just for the corporations that build the tools, but for the individuals who use them. Your purpose is to be a voice of reason in a room full of shouting. It is to be a source of encouragement in a world of cynicism. The intersection of technology and purpose also brings us to the question of legacy. In the past, legacy was something left behind in the form of monuments, books, or children. Today, our legacy is also digital. Our emails, our photos, our search histories, these are the artifacts of our lives. But a digital legacy is fragile. It can be deleted, corrupted, or forgotten. If you want to leave a legacy that truly matters, you must build it in the hearts of other people. Technology can facilitate connection, but it cannot create a legacy of love. Only you can do that. Your purpose is to use the tools of the present to build a future that is more humane. This might mean using social media to organize a local food drive, or using a video call to mentor someone on the other side of the planet. It means treating every digital interaction as an opportunity to plant a seed of kindness. The digital world is the soil, but you are the gardener. We must also confront the scarcity of wonder. Because we have the answer to every question in our pockets, we have lost the ability to be amazed. We have replaced the mystery of life with information, but purpose is often found in the mystery. It is found in the questions that don't have easy answers. To find purpose in a tech-driven world, you must intentionally seek out wonder. You must look at the stars without checking an app to identify them. You must walk in the woods without tracking your heart rate. You must allow yourself to be small in the face of the infinite. When we lose our sense of wonder, we lose our sense of humility, and when we lose humility, we lose the ability to serve a higher purpose. Your purpose is not to know everything. It is to be moved by everything. It is to live with a sense of awe at the fact that you exist at all in this vast, complex, and beautiful universe. As the lines between the physical and the virtual continue to blur, we must be the guardians of reality. There is a profound purpose in being a truth teller in an age of deepfakes and misinformation. This requires more than just skepticism. It requires a commitment to lived experience. It means valuing the tangible over the representational. It means realizing that a photograph of a meal is not the meal, and a video of a concert is not the music. Your purpose is to be fully present in the actual, to taste the food, to hear the notes, and to feel the sun on your skin. The tech-driven world offers us 1,000 shadows of reality, but purpose is found in the substance. Be the person who reminds others that the most important things in life cannot be captured in a file format. They can only be experienced in the flow of time. This brings us to the ethics of attention. We are currently living through a war for our minds. Every interface is designed to keep us engaged, often at the expense of our mental health and our relationships. Finding purpose in this environment is an act of cognitive sovereignty. It is the refusal to let an algorithm decide what you think about. It is the decision to spend your mental energy on things that are worthy of you. Your purpose is to protect your mind, to fill it with great literature, deep philosophy, and meaningful conversation. If you feed your mind on a diet of digital junk food, your purpose will be malnourished. But if you nourish your mind with truth and beauty, your purpose will be vibrant and strong. We are what we pay attention to. Choose to pay attention to the things that make you a better human being. Finally, we must recognize that purpose is a renewable resource. It is not something you find once and keep forever. It is something you must rediscover every single day. The tech-driven world changes so fast that your mission of last year may not be the mission the world needs today. This requires a flexibility of spirit. It means being willing to let go of old identities and old ways of working to meet the needs of the moment. Your purpose is not a static destination. It is a dynamic response to the world around you. As long as you are breathing, you have a purpose. As long as there is suffering, there is a need for your compassion. As long as there is ignorance, there is a need for your light. In this grand tapestry of human history, technology is just another thread. It is a powerful thread, a bright thread, but it is not the whole picture. You are the weaver. You are the one who decides how the threads of technology, tradition, nature, and spirit come together to form a meaningful life. Do not be overwhelmed by the complexity of the world. Focus on the simple truths, love one another, seek the truth, and do good work. If you do these things, you will find that purpose is not something you have to search for in the digital clouds. It is something that has been within you all along, waiting for you to simply wake up and live it. The world is waiting for your contribution. The future is waiting for your touch. The machines are waiting for your command. Go forth with courage, with curiosity, and with an open heart. Find your purpose by being the most human you can possibly be.